So tonight I'm on the Elizabeth line right next to the London Underground with Adrian here. I met Adrian last year on the Felton project where we worked together for 3 months. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hello everybody, my name is Adrian. I also met Dan last year on the Felton project. We got along really well. We were there for, was it a couple months we were there for?
Yeah, we were there for a couple of months.
Yeah, working in the cold, working in stressful environments, you know how it goes. And yeah,
What do you do on the railway?
Oh, I am, well, on the Felton project, I was his cause for that project. On the Elizabeth line, I'm currently a test train leader and an engineering supervisor, which I'm currently at now.
How long have you been on the railway? Because obviously I've been on just under 14 years. How long have you been on?
About 11 years now, yeah.
So we've both been on a fair amount, and obviously you've got up to 𝗬𝘂 and 𝗏𝑠𝑖𝑛G and safety critical roles, as most of us will know, and I'm up to signal maintenance tester in the signalling world. And we were talking just before the cameras came live, and it's funny how we could start the interview speaking about actually no one actually knows how we ended up in our areas of expertise. Like, I'm the S&T because I knew someone and got me into it. What made you go down the safety critical route?
For me, it was probably the same thing, just in the safety critical route. I just happened to start on a lower level. I knew somebody that was a cause. I'll go to a group of people, they'll be like, oh, get your cause ticket, get this qualification, get this qualification. And it's just from hearsay. And I just gradually delved into a safety critical role.
I think it is one of those that you just keep bettering yourself. But there isn't any plan out there, is there? There's no great information source that we know what ticket we need next, what course we need to do next, and where the next work is. And that's one thing of, they say everywhere that there's an upskill problem and a skill fade issue. And I think a lot of that has to come down to the idea that no one knows what ticket they need next, and a lot of individuals may join on the beginning levels of the railway, as we all have done, but they don't know how to get out of that, and they don't know how to progress.
Yeah, and that's kind of exactly what happened to me. For example, I became like a cause. I wanted to get into signaling because, again, hearsay, I heard that it made money.
Yeah, it's about money. We're all self-employed. Well, we're all subcontracting, right? We're all subcontractors. We're here to make money and to work. That is the bottom line here. And S&T does pay well, and that's why a lot of people want to get into it.
Yeah. So I wanted to get into S&T. I heard about a course called BS1, BS2, but beyond there, I didn't know where else to go into. I didn't know what field to take. I didn't know what route to take. I didn't know who to speak to. So
and where to do the training as well, because that's another one that we're speaking to the training companies is like OLE. Overhead line equipment, because that pays well as well, from my understanding, from my speaking to colleagues and stuff. But I wouldn't even know who to approach, what agencies supply that workforce, and what training providers do the courses. I just have no idea because I've never been OLE. It works every sector in our railway industry. There is no clear path of where to go next, and I think. One part of our app, the Connected Railway app, is training and courses. That is one full element of the app, which I think will be fundamental, just showing us the actual paths and the opportunities. At best is the better word, is opportunities of where to go within the railway. Because it's such a vast, there's so many jobs on the railway that people just see everyone in orange and assume that we're all doing the same job. Actually,
it's a wide variety. And I wanted to say as well that with the app providing those features, it will save people a lot of money. It will save people a lot of stress, because I can't tell you the amount of money I spent on courses that I never pursued. You know, because I couldn't see where I wanted to go to.
Yeah, no, I completely get that. And there is the variety on track of engineers I just want to touch point on is when you see like a gang of workforce, every single job requires different specialities and different skill sets. And I think it's quite a paramount element of the railway is when there is a lot of new individuals coming through, joining the railway and literally coming through with their PTS and ending there. They don't know where to go next, because that's how all of us don't know. And it does take a good I would say 6 years before you find your footing
That's so
of
true.
understanding the
That's
railway.
so true. The way you got that timing so perfectly. It's about 6-7 years, yeah.
Before you really understand
Yeah.
what you got yourself into.
Yeah. And then once you realize that, there's really
You're in
no,
it.
there's no going back. Oh, I wish I did S&T. I wish I did OLE. There's no really going back unless, you know.
And there's nothing stopping, and in fairness, there's nothing stopping any of us going and doing a different trade.
Yeah.
As long as we go do the training, there is nothing stopping us at any point. But I think a lot of us feel that once we get into our sector and go up the ladders in our sectors,
Yeah.
we don't want to go elsewhere and get a less pay and learn something else because we're comfortable in our little areas. Well, I know I am. I've always said that I couldn't leave the railway because it pays so well, but at the same time, there's at the current position that the railway is in, I've not been able to make enough money to stay in the railway. So you are literally, and I feel a lot of individuals have been on that seesaw of, like, it's a real hard challenge to leave.
Yeah.
And then one of the biggest issues that is massively spoken about is once people leave the railway, getting them back, it's a whole nother. So how have you heard it on the ground? Do you see people leaving the railway? Do you see people leaving and joining construction or driving for Uber or?
Oh boy. Yeah, especially where I work on the Elizabeth line, where we are now, a lot of guys have left to start driving Ubers. There's just a lot of disheartened people, and I think if an app like this is available, it's like a renewed bit of hope. You can start planning your life. You can start once you're able to plan your life the way that you want it. Naturally, you're less stress-free. We know that this industry is a very stressful environment, so we don't want to add any more stress to men. We say that we care about mental health so much. We don't want to add any more stress to men.
I mentioned this when I was speaking to someone earlier about the app, and it's what will the app do? And I was like, one of the fundamental areas that it will allow us to plan more than 1, maybe 2 weeks ahead, because at the moment, I would say a majority of us work week in week of planning. And we all know that not sort of resourcing companies' own errors, but that job can also collapse that week. So you're only getting paid for the day that you work. So tomorrow may not be given to you as a job. Yeah. But yet you're told you're working for the next 3 months. Well, I've learned the lesson the hard way when you think, great, I'm in there for the next 3 months, and actually a week in, sorry, the job has to be put on hold, and then plans change. Yeah. And life's changed. And I think it is, and the moment a job starts coming to an end, we saw it on the Felton project, but we see it over and over, of everyone then starts getting their phone out, start texting their friends and asking what project's next and what's everyone up to. And I think at the moment, CP7 hasn't helped, but a lot of individuals, I find it quite disheartening when you see individuals putting it out on social media stating, they have my utmost respect and gratitude and honor, but I'm just like, when they go, I'm desperate for work, I know that they feel there is no other option but to publicly say, and I feel for them so much, and I'm like, because I've been there, and that's why I know what it's like to go to bed when I've not got enough food in the cupboard, and when you're hungry so you go to sleep, or when you just be the yes man and you're driving hours and hours to just do the shit. I've been there. I'm sure we've all been there, and it's a case of we're just workers. We just want to work, and I think that's the biggest area that we've mentioned before when we was talking about the app, is we are just subcontractors that want to work. That's the key point. And if we had the visibility of where the shifts are,
100%,
it's a complete and utter game change.
100%.
What would you say was the biggest, if you could pick out 1 or 2 main areas of the app, what would you say was the fundamental things that you believe will get every subcontractor raving about? Put you on the spot now. I think for me, but while you're thinking about that, I think for me, one of them will be the geographical location, like location setting, where I am able to select how far I want to get the push notifications for the jobs that come available. Because not a lot of people want to travel, but the railway, we work wherever the railway is, right? That's a given. But it is a case of, I have no idea if there's jobs up north or in Cornwall or on the East Coast, because they don't know I exist, and it works both ways. And I think the location point for me the geographical setting for me is the one thing I love about the app.
And I would agree with you as well, but I'll take it a bit more. I think it's the transparency of the roles available.
Yeah.
Again, it gives you that peace of mind. You know where you're going to be working, or let's say my job now ends, this contract ends now. I know that Connected App is there. It's going to have jobs in my geographical location. It's going to have the roles that I'm seeking. It's going to have the steps to get to those roles. You know, it's just a transparency and a peace of mind that the app brings.
I don't think any of us have ever felt it before, but when a job comes to an end and we don't all have to start panicking and wondering how much money we have in the account, we can literally just go on the app and see what is available. I think that alone.
You don't have to cancel holidays. You don't have to cancel this. You don't have to take out emergency funds. Peace of mind is so underrated in this industry, which is what we need. You know.
I couldn't agree more. End the meeting there, or the interview there, and we'll come back with some more questions. Adrian, always a pleasure.